You are ready. Okay. All right. Well, does anyone have any news before we start? Because I'm sure the listeners want to know that everyone's in a good place. Rob,
In a good place, yeah. It's just that,
how's how's your dating life?
yeah, no, no, it's all right. Not, it's
you
not
aren't
really
you
happening.
aren't ready for that question, are you?
No, 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 no.
Jer?
Um,
I've been off the drink for almost 2 weeks.
Congrats.
Yeah. I'll
Congrats.
probably go back on it next weekend, but
How do you feel?
well, man, it doesn't really fucking hit me. I find my face always looks different. Like I don't bloat as much is the big thing, and I don't look as tired.
Do
But
you not
like,
find do you find yourself more productive throughout the week, or does it make a difference?
it doesn't really make a difference. Like I don't get hangovers, so it's just you just get on with it.
It's mad.
Then, yeah.
What about you,
So
Rob?
what drinking? I haven't been drinking, if that helps.
Do you feel fresh?
I feel uh ish, yeah. I'm not sleeping as much as I should be. Like I'm going to bed quite late, but that's
Why? Why is that?
just seeing family and friends and stuff mostly.
Socializing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jer,
Um,
I'm growing a mustache similar to yours.
oh yeah, yeah. Everyone's part timers.
Yeah, well, I got my beard done today, and I told them just trim the beard, but I want you to keep the tash. So it's if you notice, there's just a little bit more growth on the tash now than the beard, but it's still
Just keep doing that and just trim it a little bit, and then we'll
yeah.
all have a twisty mustache for Bali.
Yeah,
why do you,
I'm gonna have a big. I want to have a big, like, 70s tash going to
What
Bali.
is it? Oh, there's some.
Dahmer. What's your man's name? The serial killer. What's his name?
No, it's not a Dahmer mustache. That's got to be like really creepy and big, square, like
Yeah, that's what I
thin
want.
rim glasses.
That's what I want. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
this isn't a creep mustache.
Come back to my apartment.
now I feel like I need to join in. Right, I'll shave the rest of it off.
Yeah, I think you should as well. I think you should as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get into some fallacies. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I know.
You don't want to talk about your updates, Carl? Has anything happened in your life
No,
recently?
I stay in this. See this room here?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in here 24/7. I never leave.
Lies.
I never leave. It's
Who's joined you in there recently?
just the milkman. That's all. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on quickly, very
All
quickly.
right. Yeah.
All right, going on to fallacies. So, I have 10 fallacies for you, and I want you to give some examples from your daily lives. I think fallacies are really good because they make you understand. Well, for me anyway, when I started to learn about them, it made me understand, made me see through people's arguments very quickly. Or let's say they say, like, bold statements. Like if we were using like nutrition, for example, it's very easy to spot a charlatan quicker when you understand fallacies. So this is why I wanted to kind of go through these. So obviously the most obvious fallacy, both of you know it. Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah.
You know
Guys,
it.
doesn't matter.
It's literally the first thing you learn when you're teaching nutrition.
Oh, right, nutrition, right? Okay. Uh,
Behavior change around nutrition and exercise. What's the one thing people fall for when they start a new habit?
I'm the thing that's coming to my mind is no carbs, but that's just mainly in
Yeah,
terms
well,
of talking about.
what would no carbs reflect? So, like, I can't have carbs. I can't go out. I can't have chocolate. I need to train every day. What mindset does that represent?
My
As
brain.
in
Like,
wanting
An
to lose body fat.
all, an all.
All or
all
not.
or nothing.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
So the all or nothing.
Yay!
So the all or nothing fallacy. So if I can't do it perfectly, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
Examples of this: if I can't go to the gym for an hour, there's no point in going at all. A diet example would be, if I had a slice of pizza on the weekend, I've ruined my diet. So now I might as well just eat. Now I might as well just continue to eat whatever I want without any consequences because I've already ruined everything. A productivity example would be like, oh, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. today like I said I was going to do, so the day is wasted. I'll start again tomorrow. Or like a dating one would be, the first date wasn't perfect. Oh, we must not be compatible. So do you have any? What do you think? Go ahead. Go on. Give me your thoughts.
I don't fucking know if I agree with the first date one.
Okay, go ahead. Why not?
Well, like if you don't feel you're compatible on the first date, then you probably might not. You're not like.
But what if you turn up, you're hungover, you desperately need a. Am I allowed to swear? Yeah, you desperately need a shit.
Of course you're allowed to
You
swear.
You better that would
What?
swear.
What?
We've been on the last few podcasts.
What do what do I represent to you? Jeez. Right.
I
Come on.
just yeah. If you turn up
This
to that
leads.
date, shut up, Joe. If you turn up to that date, basically feeling physically underprepared for life, and you turn up feeling anxious or whatever, you are going to project pretty. I suppose maybe then you're not
Well, is
dateable.
that not an all or nothing mindset? It's like, oh, you went on one date and you didn't feel like that you weren't overly compatible, so then you kind of be like, oh no, this person isn't for me. When you know
Yeah,
you could go
when
on the
it's actually
second date
opposite.
or the third date, and they could be like, you could find that you're actually are really compatible to that person, but like you're basing everything on first impressions. Like it's like going to the gym for the first time. It's like, oh, went to the gym, didn't like it, not going again. It's like, well, you
I
haven't really
think.
given it enough time, have
I
you?
think that. I think that's a very black and white argument for it because, like,
Well, that's
even
what
if
all or nothing is.
yeah, well, like that's the fucking problem. Like, you know, like I think for like a first date, it's a little bit different to going to the gym. You
Why?
know,
Why?
because going to the gym, you're going to be fucking years doing it. You can't decide for years if you're going to be compatible with a
Well, you
person.
are. You're going to be years going on dates and talking to the same
Yeah,
person and having conversations. So can you?
but you'll know earlier than that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Weird.
I think if you let, or I put it this way. So let's say at the same, let's say you're in a let's say you're dating someone, and the first sign of an argument, then you're like, oh, this person isn't compatible to me. I'm gonna leave. Is that also not an all or nothing mindset around dating?
That's a little bit different to going to a first date and not feeling any connection.
Mm. But
You've
how?
built up you've built up experiences, you've gotten to know each other.
Right,
So
right,
by
right.
the, like you
But do
mightn't
you?
have a
Here's
first argument by then.
I agree. But do you think that you can build up a connection with a person that you don't know in a single hour? Like, do you feel that, right, we have more of a connection because we've spent hours of having conversations and going to events together and kind of, doing different things versus maybe the first hour we ever spoke?
The first hour we ever spoke was a fucking podcast.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first. I literally talked to you. I'd say text messages, and then I was straight onto a podcast with you.
Yeah, okay.
To be fair, actually, I'm not sure who I'm arguing against or with here, but first time I met you, Joe, I know we spoke on Instagram, but first time I met you, I was hungover. I really
Yeah,
wanted coffee, and I was anxious about getting to Carl's event. But we got on well, regardless of those negative things that were going on for me. Kind
sounds
of
like you.
get to my argument earlier. I feel like we got on relatively quickly. That might just be me having
Well,
been new.
that discredits my argument.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like
Okay.
Jared's right.
Okay, so
Why is
here's
that discredit?
Okay, like if we let's just base it off like a fucking dating app, right? You've
Yeah.
talked to this person in text messages, but you don't really know them. It's curated. You have that first date, couple of hours. You know if there's a connection or not. That's the same as me picking up Rob on the side of the road after he was out until 5 in the morning, and me doing a podcast with you after just texting you.
okay. Here's a question for you then. Here's a question for you then.
Wait,
Have you ever met someone for the first time and there was no like romantic connection with them, but the more you got to know them, the more you didn't think that you fancied this person, but the more you got to know them just in like a chilled casual environment, like maybe you hung out with the same group and stuff like that, and then their personality started to shine through, and then you're like, oh, I actually fancy this person, and I didn't think I did before because of their personality. Has that ever happened to you?
no.
Jesus Christ.
He just wanted them straight away.
So you just know straight away whether someone's gonna be the right person for you or not.
No, I'm not saying I know if someone's going to be the love of my life straight away, but I know if I like feel connected to someone.
Straight away. The first hour.
I think I think you can determine whether or not you definitely don't like them. So if they turn up to the date and they're like, "Oh yeah, Hitler did a really good thing," like you're probably gonna go, "I'm not sure if you're my kind of person."
Yeah. Well, that's come on. Like there are some things that it's like.
So I
But
think it's more the nothing side of things. You can go on a date and go, "Do you know what? No, we are not compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can definitely tell we are going to be compatible.
I
So
mean, but mine was the first date wasn't perfect. Must mean we're not compatible. So
yeah,
it
so
wasn't that this woman said that. Listen, I think Hitler was right in what he did, and then I can take all of your probably viewpoints, your extreme viewpoints from probably that one statement. Like that's a little bit different than like, oh, we were chatting and it was grand, but like, I'm just not sure about this person.
yeah, I think if there's like a slight bit of uncertainty, if it kind of feels neutral, like there's no clear cut chemistry, whatever, sometimes that can be warped by what's going on around you and stuff. So I think it's usually worth,
Yeah.
if you want to, it's worth meeting up a second time.
But that's the grey area that you should be in, isn't it? Like it's like you should be like, all right, well, I'm not really sure about this person, but I mean, how much can I tell off a first date? They're not supposed to be perfect the minute I meet them, or no one's going to be perfect anyway. So it's like, oh, well, maybe I should give this person a second date because compatibility and connection all comes with time and effort and
I'm not sure if any
conversations.
really like say for certain how to date because of look at where we all are. But but at the same time, I think what you're saying, Carl, there is probably like if it's kind of I don't know, it's the
Yeah.
grey. I usually feel like that is better than being like, oh, I'm super excited. I'm actually quite anxious. I'm nervous. I'm like, I've got all these buzzes going on around me. I feel like that normally is a bit more of a negative sign than if it just feels quite relaxed and you're kind of going, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know
Yeah.
if that.
you're
Go ahead. Go
kind of
ahead,
killing
Jack.
the fucking romantic in me there. Like the butterflies, man, the anxiety comes with it. Like, do you know, if you've met someone and you've had a good date with them, and then you're looking at the second date and you're like, I'm actually anxious about these. That's also nice. Like,
I think, yeah, that is nice. So, like, not just necessarily
Nonchalant.
not
yeah,
the date necessarily, but like if when you start thinking about that person, you get like anxiety sensations and things. If that's kind of like long term, like over the few months of dating them, I feel like that's a negative thing.
yeah. Like, I also get anxiety having to respond to people's messages that are just friends. So like
That's just your
the way
ADHD coming in.
Yeah, the way the brain approaches this is why we're all very different in how we approach things.
Yeah.
I like butterflies and romance.
Yeah.
You guys are just like, no, we're going on 7 dates. Then I'll
I
decide.
just don't reply or leave the house. I go the complete opposite. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
I hide from the world.
sorry, you have to cancel. Something came up, and it's just me, me just watching YouTube on the laptop.
You should get that tattooed on you and over in fucking Bali. Sorry, I have to cancel.
That's my avoidant behavior coming out in me. You know.
Oh,
All right, so we're not agreed, but at least we had good debate on that. Okay, fallacy number 2. So the false cause fallacy. Because B happened after A must have caused B. Can you give me an example, or can you think of an example in your head? Do you want me to give you some examples first?
yeah, go on.
Okay, so a fitness example would be, okay, I took this supplement and my lifts went up. Therefore, the supplements made me stronger. All right? Or a diet one would be, I stopped eating bread and I lost weight. So bread must make you fat.
One that drink green tea and then you lose weight, therefore green tea makes you lose.
Yeah. There's a great one about, so it's correlation, not causation, and I think it was like ice cream sales go up in the summer as well as shark attacks, so therefore ice cream sales cause shark attacks. So if people are selling more ice cream, don't get in the sea. When in reality it's the summer, so more people are in the sea and more people are also eating ice cream.
It's not because you're more tasty. It's
exactly.
Basting yourself in ice cream for the shark.
I'll give you a work one as well. So I started. Well, this could be true actually. So I didn't really know if I agreed with this one or not. But I started journaling and I got a raise. Journaling made me more valuable.
It's a weird one
That's a weird one.
Yeah, because I feel like the journaling
could help.
Makes you
self-aware.
Realize your values, and therefore your value goes up yourself. So there you project it, and people see it. But
there's a lot of factors to that. Like,
Yeah.
don't like if you started journaling 2 weeks ago and you got a promotion in your job, it's probably not the fucking journaling that did it.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you could have been getting up early, going to work early. You could be really productive in work. You could be a
yeah.
valuable member. You could be organized. You could have leadership qualities. But oh yes, I started journaling there, and now I got a promotion. So I'm gonna
I
keep.
think the link to feeling like your values increase, that's the issue. It's correlate. It's like linking the pay rise or the promotion with your actual value. You need to
It,
those two very.
I'm valuable now because I journal rather than I am
well,
valuable.
isn't it like the whole idea of manifestation? Do you know, like the difference between people saying manifestation works is I'm manifesting winning the lotto. If I don't buy the fucking lotto ticket, I have no chance of winning it. So same idea as like I'm manifesting getting a promotion in work or reaching my fitness goals or anything like that. You can manifest that you fucking want it, but unless you do all the little steps along, it's never going to happen anyway. It's not you're
Yeah.
going to just fall into it.
And usually manifestation is like, okay, I'm paying attention to this thing now. I'm
Yeah.
conscious to this thing now. And what happens as a byproduct of that is now you're paying attention to it or you're more aware of it. Your actions are probably more in line with the
Yeah.
thing that you want now.
Right. It goes back to like cutting carbs for fat loss and how people say when I cut carbs I lose fat. I'm like, well, no, you stop overindulging in the things that are highly caloric that you eat easily. You're not eating loads of donuts or making like 6 slices of toast sitting there eating it. You change your complete lifestyle when you give up the carbs. You start walking more, exercising. It's all the factors stuck together. And geez, giving up carbs, that's awful.
And carbs before bed as well, like that, like not having them after 8 o'clock or whatever. I think there can be a correlation between it in terms, or a very loose causation. If you have too many carbs, too much sugar before bed, disrupts your sleep potentially.
Yeah.
You wake up knackered. You then for need more food and more fuel the day after.
But
Don't move around as much because you don't have as much energy. So there's
the
a
sorry.
little link, but it's not because you had carbs. It's because of what happened as a result of that.
Yeah, I'm off my meds, so I'm probably going to interrupt you quite a lot today. It's, fuck the not eating after 7 o'clock thing, right? I love talking about that with clients because it stems from generations before having dinner at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then after 7 o'clock, you don't go make a chicken toasty or have a fucking salad. You go into the press, you have a cup of tea, grab a bun, and it's you overindulge in those things because you probably
Yeah.
eaten your dinner too early, probably haven't eaten too much throughout the day, and you're still starving afterwards. So that's where that whole if I eat after 7 o'clock, I'll gain weight. Now I know for some people, if they eat late at night, it does impact their sleep, and that has the knock-on effect of that. I find the later I eat, the easier I find it to sleep.
Well,
Then,
also, you're not going to eat hyper palatable foods for breakfast. You're only eating them in the evening. So if you cut out that time frame of I'm not going to eat after 8 o'clock, you're probably cutting out all the hyper palatable foods that are calorie dense.
yeah. And if that goes hand in hand with intermittent fasting, you're obviously going to lose weight. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
intermittent. I'm not eating after 7. I'm losing weight.
yeah,
You're just
yeah.
eating. Yeah.
But it's not the fasting and it's not the carbs per se. Yes, they are a correlation, but the actual causation is okay, I've done this behavior, now I'm consuming less calories, therefore now I'm losing weight.
Yeah. And I was going to try and link it back to the all or nothing thing there again, but carry on. Cut that.
No, no, well, you could if you want. What was
It's,
another one? So, the false cause fallacy. So, here's a dating one for you. So, Jerry, you can see if you want to argue this one as well. So, we texted every day for a week. Then she ghosted me. I must have texted too much.
Go on, Jay. What do you reckon?
wise. I suppose we don't know everything, so it depends. Was she texting you back? Were you over texting? Did you say something that she didn't like, and rather trying to fucking work her way around it or talk about it, she just went, nah, it's gone. You don't know. You don't know what the reason could be there. Like, could have been over texting.
For her, it could be. Overall, doesn't necessarily mean you over texted. overall, it could be, well, in that interaction, she didn't text enough. You texted too much. Overall, doesn't mean you are an over texter or she's an under texter. It's just you're
Well,
not directly.
doesn't that go to like the right person won't see it as over texting?
Well, that's why isn't that why it's not a false cause? Because it's if it's oh she stopped texting back because I was texting too much could be a false cause because
Yeah,
when a different person it's like there's no such thing.
yeah. Or you
So
say that's something
so
absolutely
is the
filthy.
real cause that or she just wasn't you just weren't meant to be together because she doesn't actually
She
like you that much.
had different priorities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
but don't
that's
ghost.
so it's the cause isn't you texting too much. The cause is yous aren't compatible.
Yeah, but don't ghost.
Yeah, don't ghost.
Don't ghost. That's
Yeah.
shit.
And maybe don't text her 15 times a day when she's not replying.
No, but like, John, just tell the person.
4 a.m. Are you up?
It's
You've
like,
seen my text, but you haven't responded. I'm outside your garden.
yeah, well then, Joe, there's a reason you got ghosted then.
Yeah.
You know,
Content of the text. Like if you're constantly telling them you love them or you're telling them you want to, you know where they live or whatever it is, the content is obviously going to put them
yeah.
off.
I'll
Or
be
you
honest.
could,
I love an L bomb. I'll tell anyone that I love them, and I don't care if you're a stranger. If you tell me that you love me, I'll be like, thanks. I appreciate that. You
that's
know.
different.
You
Is he,
know.
fish, is he fishing for an album right now?
Well, if you want to give one, you can.
It sounds like we all need a hug.
All right, we'll move on swiftly from that. But if anyone wants to text me and tell me that they love me, that's all, I won't be. I won't take offense to that. The appeal to authority. So it must be true because an expert or influencer said it. Um, Fitness example: the shredded guy on TikTok says you shouldn't squat, so squats must be bad. Diet example: a celebrity said intermittent fasting cures everything, so I'll just fast. A work one: my boss says burnout is just lazy. He must be right. Dating one: that podcast said never text first, so I won't.
Do you want to start with those, Rob?
Influencers are always right. Just listen. No, I'm joking. Um,
The
yeah,
appeal to authority one is kind of like I think it's something that everyone falls for in some degree at some point.
I think when you get advice from parents, generally speaking, it comes from a position of positivity. Like they want to care for, generally speaking,
Yeah,
they want to look after you. And statistically, what they have to say
yeah,
does make sense, especially in your specific situation. If you're staying in the same location, etc., that advice generally is quite helpful.
yeah.
Parents have done the research themselves. They've had tens of years more than you.
Ah,
Makes sense. But also at the same time, you are a completely different person. Like, go on, Joe, go for it. I don't know if I finished what I was saying, but you've got something. You need.
I really hate the I've been around longer than you, so what I say, Joe,
Yeah,
has backing of years. It could just be fucking years of being wrong. You
true.
know?
I
Yeah,
don't believe in the what I says goes because I am older. Like
yeah,
that. That's not
That yeah,
right.
that's the appeal to authority, isn't it? Right? It's like I've
yeah,
more experience than you, then therefore I'm right. Like
yeah.
if you percentage wise, it might be true. Like I would say that my dad's advice was probably more correct than wrong with things that he would say to me, but I didn't listen anyway. But that doesn't mean that he was right in everything that I pursued didn't go wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like you have
There are
loads,
there are there
you've
are
lo-
some things that like years on the planet, are good advice.
yeah,
Like there's like it depends what they're talking about. Like, if you're getting advice from a parent on nutrition that knows nothing about nutrition, the whole being around for forever isn't exactly the winning of the argument. I find then with the influencer one, it's normally like an insecurities and self-worth thing when you're looking at like celebrities that are promoting either a supplement or a specific diet. It's, well, if I look up to them or I like the way they look, so they must be right, and I don't look like that, so I obviously don't know what I'm doing.
yeah. And like it's also the the parent example is actually really really good, but then even when you get older you might have certain like figures that you respect, like the appeal to expertise, but then they try to go into a different domain, and it's like, well, just because they're correct in this area or this specific field doesn't mean they're correct in everything. I'm thinking in my head an example would be, I used to love like Jordan Peterson's stuff all on like young boys and men and psychology and stuff like that. And then he started going on about the carnivore diet, and I was like just because you're an expert in that particular
Yeah.
field doesn't mean you're an expert in that particular field. But obviously because I have a nutrition background, I can call bullshit on something like that. But someone who might be a fan of a certain figure might take everything they say as gospel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening quite a lot
Yeah.
now. Like who's the other guy? Is he a neuroscientist?
Oh, Huberman.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know he's
he says some wild things.
yeah, but he took a while till he jumped over that side. It
Yeah.
was
Well,
becoming an authority.
that's the problem when you want to be an expert in everything,
Yeah,
and you're diving into everything, that you're gonna get things wrong. And
Mm.
yeah, I think in a lot of his research he looks at kind of mechanisms rather than outcomes, and I think a lot of people have called a lot of bullshit on stuff he says. That doesn't mean he's wrong on everything, but yeah, I think it's very easy then to just look at someone as a figurehead and take everything that they say as, yeah, that must be right because I've heard him say things on other topics and that made sense, so this must make
yeah,
sense as well.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time with social media, like influencers and things. I don't know much about Andrew Huberman and them lot, but a lot of the time people will promote what they know,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll get a lot of positive response from it, and then they'll maybe keep posting that stuff again or
Mm-hmm.
stuff that link to it, and then they don't get as much from it, and they're like, oh, what can I now talk about? Oh, this is popular. I'm going to share this thing because it got a lot of likes. Like the guy that kept copying James Smith with a load of his content.
Oh yeah, the TikToker. I think he literally copied word for word what he said, and then I think James Smith called him out on it, and he kind of apologized but didn't apologize. He was like, "Oh yeah, I did do that, but the reason I did it was because I didn't know what to say, so I'm still learning how to do this social media thing." And it's like he didn't even apologize. He just basically it was insane. It was like
sorry, I got caught.
yeah, yeah. No, he goes like,
Yeah.
he didn't even apologize for getting caught. He was like, oh, this is my reason for doing what I did. I'm not sorry about it, but here's me owning up to me actually copying word for word what you said. It was wild. Do you know the video I'm talking about, Rob?
I've definitely seen a video of him trying to.
Yeah, a clip. I remember it. I don't think. How long ago was that? About a year, was it?
About a good while ago. He's continued
Yeah.
to copy information or copy people's content since then, I think. But I mean, like, it's worked for him. He has like hundreds of thousands of followers across all social medias. Um, and then I've also seen kind of people then seeing that he, like, everything's just people watering down other people's ideas anyway. And then I think there's a video of him running with his top off, and he's like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. If that makes me a loser, good.
Oh, that twat.
Yeah,
Oh,
him.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
him.
yeah.
That's him. That's the same guy. And then
Right.
other
Okay.
people are actually copying his content of that and doing it. And I'm like, oh, I don't care productivity, bro. Like, shut up. Like,
I think I've
you're
seen one.
18.
I think I've seen one guy doing the opposite, where he's running and he's
Yes.
drinking and smoking. Just like,
Yeah.
I can still do it all while
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was funny. But
What
like,
was-
that's a weird one, isn't it? The way like that became a real trend for a while of, like, I'm all for people like improving their lifestyle, giving up alcohol if it's impacting their life, eating better, like training, celebrating that they're training, like being proud of themselves for it. But a lot of it then comes into like, it tips over into like narcissism, where they're just like, look at me, look at how disciplined I
yeah.
am, look at how in great shape I am. And it's they're looking for validation online for their
Yeah.
behaviors.
Yeah. So yeah, no, who gives a fuck what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah,
Who gives a fuck? Like, do you ever find now, because like what you do, that when you're out for dinner or you're at someone's house or you're out for a night out, that someone will look at you and be like, oh well, I don't do this all the time. Like, I don't always drink like this, or I don't. I've had that now multiple times, and I'm sitting there with like a full plate or a pint, or depending on how fucking ossified I used to get, it was a cigarette, and I'm like, I'm not here judging you. I'm also sitting here drinking
Yeah,
and
yeah,
eating and doing the exact. I don't know why you feel uncomfortable about me being here when
yeah,
I'm doing the exact same thing.
yeah.
Yeah. If anything, if you're enjoying it, why don't you do this more often?
Yeah,
Like,
100%. 100%. There was a real shift between like binge drinking culture to like the opposite end of everything has to be productivity, and if if having a drink means that you're a little bit tired the next day, then that's morally wrong. And I don't think people I don't think people became happier by doing a full kind of 180 as well. It's like maybe just go somewhere in the middle where like you still feel great physically and your health is you have good health markers, but also if you want to
Well, man,
relax and have a
I
drink
think
with your
so.
friends.
At one point, someone said my page was turning more into like a Guinness appreciation page than it was anything else, and I was like, no, I'm just showing you I'm having a drink.
Yeah,
Do you
but
know?
I
I'm
would
like, I'm
also
not.
I would also argue the very much relationship with food and lifestyle side of social media as well. I think sometimes that can also get kind of blown out of proportion as well. It's like everything has to be, oh look, look at me, I'm able to eat ultra processed food, oh look at me, I'm able to go out for a drink as well. And it's like sometimes like find the balance of like, well, also it is actually unhealthy to constantly be eating ultra processed food and maybe going
Yeah,
out binge drinking every weekend. And I understand the rest and all that
I
kind of stuff as
find.
well.
I find with that, the people who are generally like, I don't. When I'm putting it up, I'm literally just going, "This is where I am right now, and this is what I'm doing." It's
Yeah,
not a, I can do this and I can stay this way kind of argument.
yeah,
I find when people do that online, like 9 times out of 10, the ones that are promoting it are promoting it for their coaching, and it's I'm shredded all year round, and I can still do the shit that's holding you back.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that kind of way. Rather than like for me, it's what are you doing with your hands, Rob? You've turned off your camera.
I've just pressed and messed it up.
For me, I find it's coming from my eating disorder, my relationship with food, my relationship with substances. That's why I put it up there.
Mm.
It's more of a like I'm trying to strike that balance that
Well,
I don't make myself feel like shit after doing something that brings me a bit of joy.
yeah, I think you do it well. Like you'll post a picture of you having a pint, but you'll also a video of you running even though you hate it, or you're
Yeah,
doing a
I see
training
that now.
session. Like I try to do that as well. Like I'll put up a picture of me having my salad, and I'll also put up a picture of me having my
Bad.
takeaway pizza. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just food at the end of the day. But
yeah,
I don't try to force it, or even when I do put it up, I don't put it up with the intention of, oh, let me put up this salad so people know that I eat healthy, or
yeah,
let me put up this picture of pizza so people know that I have a good relationship with food. It's just like I'm eating a pizza, I'm eating a salad, I'm training, I'm lying in bed.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be more overcomplicated than that. But I think people have their agenda that they want to show social media a certain side of them. Anyway, what else did we have? The podcast said never text first, so I won't.
No.
Is that an appeal? Is that an appeal to authority, or just good advice?
It's definitely not good advice.
No. Like if no
No.
one checks first, then who? What conversations start?
Or like it's just playing a game.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I've gotten I've got a number before towards the end of a night out, and it was outside the front of the place, and I just said to one, I was like, I'll give you a call, and as she was walking up the road, I called her.
Is
Well,
You
there?
know,
Is
and
there?
it's fucking stop. It's playing a game. Like you're trying to have tactics around talking to someone that you want to interact with. It's like I won't text her first, so I don't look desperate. I'm like, if you want to talk to them, talk to them.
Yeah. Is there a case where the appeal to authority is valid though? Like listening to experts on their or people in authority on their advice or what they.
I think that can be. Like if you go to the doctors and they say you're going to this disease-ridden place, you should probably take this vaccination. They'd probably have a bit of an idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Some people wouldn't take the vaccination and they might go to the place and they might be all right.
Yeah.
But
That
when,
doesn't mean they were right. Yeah.
yeah, when the statistics kind of stack up that support that person, and they're just like, oh yeah, you should do this. This is what you should be doing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
isn't that the problem? Is that we're only human and we only have so much time in the day and we can't be experts in everything. So we have to just take for grace that some people, like, okay, this person seems like an expert. I'm gonna, take his advice for face value. And then the difficulty is when you take that advice off an authority figure and they end up being a charlatan, then that's like a real man.
I've loads of clients that have been told by doctors not to squat or deadlift.
Yeah, well,
And-
that's a perfect example. It's like
And-
and nutrition advice can be brutal from doctors sometimes.
And every client that's come with that now squats and deadlifts.
So when I was talking at the start of this conversation, I said how to spot whether someone's a charlatan or to crack holes in their arguments. It's like, so if someone said to me, "Oh, you should do X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, I'm not really sure. And he said, "Trust me, I'm a doctor." Straight away, my brain goes into fallacy mode. Appeal to authority. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean that you have doesn't mean that you're correct in what you're saying. But at the same time, like Rob said there, a lot of the time you do, if the statistics hold up to what that person's saying, yeah, well, maybe you should take their advice on.
I think if you find out after they've given you the advice that they're a doctor, generally speaking, you're probably, maybe I should listen to them.
Yeah, but
you should trust me, I'm a doctor.
Yes.
I'm like, that's making me less likely.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't want to follow your advice.
now you're going into snake oilman sales kind of.
I do find it depends. The whole doctor thing depends on the topic, depends on the advice.
Yes,
that's it is the whole idea. Stay in your lane. Like, I don't go into a doctor and tell them how to prescribe medicine, even though I kind of know what I have to take for certain things.
Although even then, sometimes some doctors don't have a bloody clue what. In terms of deadlifts, let's talk about it. So my mate has got a really bad back. He's had an operation. He's probably never going to listen to this because anyway, he hides away. He's told me whenever I post a video about deadlifting, he's like, you shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. It's bad for your back.
Don't fuck off.
What is, like, I don't know enough about it. Like, surely if you deadlift more, if you do it right, it strengthens up the bits of your body that are going to support lifts in the future, which obviously makes sense. Why is deadlifting such like a taboo exercise, do you think? Because
people associate it with back problems. Like, I find my mom does the same thing when it comes to like berserker squats or deadlifts. She hates lifting heavy, and I'm like, but you're not going to walk into the gym and do that weight. That's not what's going to happen. And I think we had a night with the lads, and two of them had just recently tweaked their backs doing some. We're joking about being in our 30s. And I sniggered at one of the lads, and he was like, I don't know why you're laughing. You hurt your back there the other day. And I was like, I slightly tweaked my back lifting 200 kilos, and it's almost better again. You sneezed on a toilet and put out your back. It's not the same. It's not the same fucking thing. Like,
well, what you said, Rob, I think in terms of why do people associate deadlifts with hurting your back is because most people do hurt their back doing deadlifts, but it doesn't mean that the deadlift is a dangerous exercise. It means that these people don't know how load management works.
Don't know how to deadlift. They did it wrong. There was an issue with their back, and the deadlift is the thing that brought it out.
Well, you've shit technique, and now you've tried to lift too heavy, and you've done your back in.
Yeah.
Cool. That's exactly what I think as well.
Yeah.
But
it's like
with
load management's the most important thing. And by the way, I've done it as a personal trainer where I've given people too much load and not really understood the concept of it, and they've hurt their back.
I've tweaked my back deadlifting
as a trainer.
Can we cross it out and like highlight?
No, because I edit the podcast. So
for insurance purposes, we are cutting this clip.
Oh no. the sentence that you said before, Carl. You're like, as a personal trainer, I've given people too much load before.
Not in a
Like
not in a long, long time.
you're not going to win that argument with that person.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like my dad recovering from his hip surgery, my mom having to do exercises for her surgery. I've told them before, well, you'll start with body weight, you might move to bands, you might move to weights, and to keep it progressing, you'll have to lift heavier. That doesn't mean we're gonna try to ruin your life with the heaviest weight straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And he's got information, hasn't he? He's got I've done this and now have a bad back.
Rob, you've just led me into the next fallacy, confirmation bias.
It's almost like a new.
Very good. So you only notice information that supports what you already believe, confirmation bias. So we've pretty much given the example there. It's like, I hurt my back doing deadlifts, so therefore deadlifts hurt your back.
I think, again, I'm going to argue devil's advocate with this. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
sometimes it is worth listening to those statistics. It's not always correct. Like, if 90% of people hurt their back doing deadlifts and you don't need to do deadlifts in your day-to-day life, is it worth
I would argue you always need to do deadlifts in your day-to-day life because you're always picking things off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like,
bad example.
think about the do you know how people always say you should do a trap bar, the hex bar instead of doing normal. Outside of shopping bags, or unless you're lifting two heavy buckets, you're normally picking up something in front of you.
Yeah, true.
You need to put yourself into that compromising shit position
Yeah.
with an equal level weight. So when you pick up something stupid and awkward, that's not the thing that'll put out your back.
Yeah, and I think people associate deadlifts with a big heavy barbell lifting 200 kilos, like you said, Jer. But like, it could be like you have a client coming in who's 60 years old, and you're just getting her to pick a kettlebell up off the ground. That's really like
My client there the other day, I put up a reel on it. She couldn't use the barbell at the start. I think the heaviest we'd gotten at the start was a 16 kilo kettlebell. She's now 35 kilos on a barbell with more in the tank. And it's the idea that, like, she would have been under the impression that she shouldn't be lifting this type of weight in this way. Most people watching now, the great thing I have about her doing it, she's a little bit older. It's the fact that other people see it and it's like, well, you can do it. You can, yeah. Like, you can do it. Like she's 3 months. She's gone from not being able to do 20 kilos on a kettlebell to almost double on a fucking barbell. Like,
do you want a dating confirmation bias?
Yeah, why not?
So, I knew all men were cheaters, and because when I went on that date with someone, or when I started seeing this lad, he cheated on me.
Oh, well, it's a generalization, isn't it?
Yeah, but it confirms what she already believed as well, that all men are scum. So, and yeah, I got with this.
Men.
I think, and in that thing again, statistics. What am I trying to get at without?
Go on.
So, like, a woman or a man or a person.
Oh, we're talking about women here. This is called "She's in the Way."
If
we're demonizing women here.
If you date people within certain parameters, you probably and those that you've dated previously have cheated on you. They've had certain behaviors that you've liked, and there's maybe later down the line they've cheated on you. If you notice those behaviors in another person and you're like, oh, I like this person because they've got similar personality traits to this other person, they do this like this other person did, this is what I'm attracted to. Chances are they have similar personality traits, like I can't think of the words, but like
are you basically trying to say that this woman picks bad men?
Effectively, yeah.
But like, that's the thing
she's attracted to, potentially. Doesn't mean those men should be doing it. That's not saying, again, just a disclaimer there. And it doesn't mean that every guy that has those personality traits will do what she said they will, but she's choosing potentially from the pool of men that are the most likely to. There's a few, I think it was Naval. I was listening to a podcast after you'd mentioned him, Carl,
Yeah.
and I think he was talking about how I can't remember what words he used, but how much the person wants to explore life in general. The higher that kind of inquisition or whatever the word is, curiosity factor is, the more likely that person is to cheat because they're going to be more likely to be interested in finding out more about something else. It has to be kind of alongside other personality traits as well, I think. But if you're constantly picking people that are like hyperactive, going out exploring, interested in finding new stuff out, there's a greater risk factor. There's greater exposure and greater risk of them getting bored, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That reminds me of, so let's that do you know do you understand hypergamy?
No, I know what a hyperbole is, but I don't know what.
Hypergamy.
No.
So it's basically like it's like marrying up. Or if you're looking for a partner, you're looking for someone. So for women, they tend to want someone taller than them, and they tend to want someone who makes more money than them, because obviously that means security and safety and all them things, right? And obviously in today's society, women are basically outdoing men in terms of education and in terms of finance. So they end up going to college more. They end up getting better degrees. They end up getting better jobs. They end up making more money than men. All the statistics show this basically, and so therefore, women have a smaller pool of men to choose from because of this factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
the more successful women have a smaller pool.
More successful women. There's more successful women now than in like the 1970s. And men are declining in terms of money that they're making and stuff like that as well. So there is a small pool of men who would be like, let's say they're 6'2". They're also well educated. They get paid more. So these, let's say 5% of men who are really like really successful versus the rest of men who are maybe not be as successful. Like, let's think of people who they might have struggle learning, they struggle to get a job. They might be in their parents' basement playing Xbox all the time because they don't know what else to do with their lives. And like that's a large pool of actually men in today's society. So these women then only have this small pool of men to choose from, this like 5%, whereas this 5% has like 80% of the pool to choose from. All right. Now, what do you think that does for men in that small percentage of men who have a huge amount of options to choose from? It's more, they're more likely to, let's say, sleep around. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, well, they'll always think they can trade up.
Yeah. So if you're, let's say, the 80% of women looking for that like 5% of men, all right, and you're going with these men and these men are then cheating on you, you will then say, confirmation bias, all men are cheaters, all men are scumbags, but you're not really thinking about the 80% of men who are at home in their parents' basement playing Xbox because they can't get a date and they can't get a job, and
you'd probably be cheating on if you were going out with them potentially.
What do you mean?
So like the men above
Yeah.
that have choices, you're dating up to them and
Yeah.
they're cheating on you.
Yeah.
If you chose to flip that and start dating the people that earn less than you and things like that, you also see that you've got a greater pool to choose from as a woman.
Yeah.
And dating one of those, you might go, well, he's actually not that good because he's below me.
Yeah.
I'm a person that's slightly higher, or double here, there, and everything.
Well, I don't think it's in women's nature to cheat as much as men anyway.
I think you're right.
I think like, I'm sure there's research to back that up, but I wouldn't know any of it. But like, yeah, so like I think that creates a confirmation bias that like, there's no good men, because the few men that I have been with, aka the few men that I'm attracted to because they earn more, they're taller, they have turned out to be scumbags.
Well, the reason why those stats are high then is because you're picking a partner just based on height and financial status.
Well, that's hypergamy.
I know, but like
women
that's
can't change their biological drive to be with a man. Like these are things that show off that this person can look after me, this person can make me safe, and do you know what I mean? That's really important to a woman, especially as she wants to have children. Now, no, I'm not saying that like that should be the only thing that like people should
no
assess. Obviously, as a shorter male, I would,
short kings.
yeah, I would prefer that not to be the case. And obviously, that like there's other ways to show your capabilities as a man, your personality traits and stuff like that as well. But like, if we're not talking about the individual, but we're talking about large data pools.
Yeah.
That's what it shows.
We're tall in personality.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tall and at heart.
I'm 6'4".
And I think didn't we go through the stats when we were doing the Tinder and dating apps? It's like men swipe right on 60 to 70% of women.
Yeah.
Women tend to swipe right on 5 to 15% of men.
Yeah.
So there's the disparity right there.
I think someone sent me. I think it was Anna Harris sent me a reel today about. Was it Jimmy Carr talking about men versus women on one night stands and how men will lower their standard to anything. Like, you know, if she's got 3 teeth and you don't want to look at her in the morning, they'll still do it if there's a chance they'll get something. And then women will raise their standards for a one night stand in general terms, stats. And I was like, I suppose stats wise, it's probably true. It does depend on the person then as well, which then goes, you know, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
I can argue against stats.
By the way,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
by the way, if you're a woman with 3 teeth and you've got a good reason for it, that's not necessarily addiction or whatever, and you're feeling insecure about it, it's perfectly fine. You've got 3 teeth. I'm sure you've.
I'm just relaying the video. Thanks for throwing me into that. Dick.
It was for the person listening that's got 3 teeth. That was all. Not against you.
What I'll ask you a question. Why do you think men tend to, I would say, lower their standards or like are more open to more options, whereas women are more I don't know if picky is the word, but I can't think of a better word. Picky with their who they choose to partner with.
I might be wrong. I don't know whether it's that guys lower their standards. I feel like we've got low standards because biologically we want to reproduce with whatever will allow us to. I think it's more that we up our standards in like when we're properly conscious of the decisions that we make. I think we up our standards partway through the year. Like, yeah, whether you're looking for a genuine date or whatever, you might go, I actually would love this. And you take yourself out of your general mindset. You're like, I want this, I want this. You up your standards. And then you go, I'm not managing to reach that. I'm just going to go back to my norm of anything goes.
Now, I think someone was talking about like the term getting lucky is for men. You know, the way we look at it, like you're getting lucky. For lads, it's a big deal if you manage to pull a woman or get a date.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like most men are fucking terrified to go up to a group of women.
Yeah. Well, for the men that aren't afraid to sleep around versus women, do you want to know the evolutionary kind of reasoning behind this?
No.
Well, I gotta tell you anyway, so you might as well. So historically, before reliable contraception and modern norms, the biological consequences of sex was drastically different for each sex. So for women, sex could mean pregnancy, social judgment, and economic vulnerability. But for men, sex generally carried fewer consequences. So no pregnancy, less stigma, and fewer social penalties.
Makes sense.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we don't have to be as conscious of our decisions that we make, basically. Yeah. We should be, but we don't have to be because we're not kind of biologically attached to the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've basically lower risk of having sex with a female versus their risk was a lot higher until contraception. Yeah. Now they're all like body blue. Did you watch you Rob? You know I love Louise Perry, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
Have you been following her content at all?
I haven't. Did she interview it? Did she?
She did a debate against Bonnie Blue, which is very fascinating. You'd really enjoy it, I think.
I'll have a listen.
It's like it's like the complete two opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like a
Yeah.
very, conservative, old-fashioned values, and like someone who's done a lot of work in kind of rape crisis centers and stuff like that, versus Bonnie Blue, who's obviously the other side of the spectrum, who is all about it's feminine empowerment, that I can sleep with as many men as I want, and also make money off it, and also get status off it, and there's no consequences.
I've only seen a few clips, but I'm surprised at how articulate Bonnie Blue actually is.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, because when you hear, and it kind of goes back to what we were just saying before about the societal sticker that you put on someone
Stigma,
like,
yeah.
you hear that she's wanting to sleep with 1,000 or more people in a day, and you go, there's not a lot going on up there. But she has had to go through, like, she's had to think a lot of it through, hasn't she? And
She's capable. Like she's
Yeah.
not I don't think she's like extremely intelligent, but she's definitely not an idiot. She's not a bimbo.
no, she's not just going, Dick, give it to me.
Well, she
Well,
is.
Technically, she was.
She definitely
is. Yeah.
She
all
was.
of it.
I think she got a bus and she was like traveling down through the universities trying to like sleep with as many like college boys as
And she
possible.
get kicked out of Oz.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, she was in Trinity in Dublin recently, I think.
Yeah. I think she got kicked. I think, yeah. That's why Carol was inside the city.
That would like that, to be honest. Like I don't like the past judgment on people, right? But I think as a man, if like that's what you're resorting to have sex, I think like,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on now, you know,
Yeah,
like
you don't want
one of a thousand.
you can make the joke. You can make the joke about sloppy seconds, but what about the 1,000th person?
Yeah, like come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I think that's also probably like, as much as like there's a societal issue in terms of her doing that, also like of the lads being like, come, like have a bit of self-respect for yourself as well, I think.
I suppose it depends. It depends on your mentality. Like it's kind of like strip clubs and like lads going on holidays to the dam and stuff and paying for prostitutes and things. Like it all depends on the way you look at that stuff.
Yeah,
Like you're paying for fake. Like being one of 1,000.
yeah,
That's whether like being number one there isn't fucking great either. Like
yeah.
you know.
But isn't it the case then, like lads don't really think about their bodies in a like protective, like respecting themselves that much? They're just
There's less
like,
intrusion, isn't there? Like, for want of a better word, the woman is being penetrated. Someone's entering that person, so there's more to protect, isn't there?
yeah.
Where you're, yeah,
Well,
It
there's
goes-
also a psychological damage for a lad, like if he just sleeps with anyone and
Anyone.
everyone and doesn't really think of the emotional consequences there.
But
Like you're also using your body as well.
It's
Or
the quality
you're
over
being
quantity.
used.
yeah.
It's quality over quantity.
Yeah,
We're not saying that like most, not every lad can go out and sleep with a woman every night they want it to happen.
yeah,
But like just sleeping with anyone,
yeah.
it's not a giant achievement. Like
But I would imagine why Bonnie Blue is so successful as well, or why there's such a big hype about her, is that there is a lot of 20-year-old lads who are like, they're called the sexless generation for a reason. Most of them aren't actually having sex, and it ties back to what we actually spoke about, that a lot of boys are underperforming in life as well, and they're probably not
But COVID as well, man. Like like lads growing up at 17, 18, not being in social circles, getting thrown into the depths of college, and like
So then if you'd then like heard that, oh, this girl is coming into town and she's she's letting 20-year-olds have sex with her. It's like maybe as a 20-year-old boy who, doesn't know any better, and that hasn't really had any luck in the dating market, or no one's paid any attention to that person. Like, yeah, probably he is going to be like, oh well, this is my
Yeah.
chance to sleep with
Yeah.
someone, even if I
Right.
am number 958.
I think if any, not any, but if the majority of 20-year-old guys were at uni where there's a lot of like exploring and things going on, and you heard of this attractive woman come into the place to sleep with anyone,
Yeah,
most people would at least think about what that might be like.
yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
I think that's this generation though. Like there's times where I've been around and it makes me feel old when you see younger people now, and I'm like, how like older generations of us would have said we're very stupid.
Yeah,
I do actually think it's getting worse.
yeah.
Like, do you think 15 years ago you would be in a line of 1,000 to sleep with one woman?
Well, I have to say, when I was 20 and I was over in Spain, I did sleep with women who I did need to have a cold shower after. So I can't say that I had massive standards, or
Yeah,
I
but
was a
like
dumb 20-year-old as well, put it that
we're
way.
not we're not we're not we're comparing you lowering your standards to you getting in a line of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You
I don't
basically,
know. That's why I'm saying I don't want to judge 20-year-olds, because 20-year-olds are 20-year-olds, and there's also social pressure probably applied to that as well. It's like, oh my god, Bonnie Blue's coming to town. Come on, like, and then you're like, oh well, okay, even though you don't really know if you want her or not. And then
depends who
I'll sorry, go
you're with.
ahead, Rob.
No, it depends who you associate with. Basically, like you're saying, like if you've got guys around you going, "Come on, let's do it," you're gonna feel more pressure to do it, especially if you've kind of just met them. They're like the alpha of the group, for want of a better phrase. Um, but if you're around people that are like nerding it up in the library and going, "Oh, have you heard about that?" "Oh yeah, nah, not for me." Like you might have thought about it and gone, "Oh, she's attractive, maybe," but because the people around you are kind of like bringing you back down to earth, you're less likely to do that. Does that
Are
make
you
sense?
saying that nerds don't like having sex, Rob?
I was
Yeah,
I was
I
that.
don't know about that.
You're
No,
less likely.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You're less likely to consider the morals of it and
Yeah,
the outcomes, I think.
yeah. Anyway, how did we get on to that point again? I think we were talking about, I don't know, a straw man, bandwagon. Oh, that follows on to the bandwagon fallacy. The bandwagon fallacy. Everyone's doing it, so it must be right. Perfect example. All right, we'll leave it there then, because we're over the hour, but we led on to the bandwagon fallacy.
We got there anyway.
Yeah, we got there anyway. Everyone understands what we were speaking about. All right, lads, it's been a pleasure as always. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next week.
All right.
Boys.